My dear students, in previous lecture I have completed chemical equilibrium. Now I am going to start ionic equilibrium. What is ionic equilibrium? Equilibrium established between undissociated molecules and corresponding ions is called ionic equilibrium. Equilibrium established between undissociated molecules and corresponding ions. If we take acetic acid, it undergoes dissociation and gives acetate ions and H plus ions. So here equilibrium is established between undissociated unionized acetic acid molecules and its corresponding ions. This is ionic equilibrium. What is the degree of dissociation? Degree of dissociation denoted by alpha. The ratio between number of molecules dissociated to the total number of molecules is called degree of dissociation. Alpha is equal to number of molecules dissociated divided by total number of molecules taken. Total number of molecules taken. Alpha is equal to number of molecules dissociated divided by total number of molecules taken. Or we can write number of moles dissociated divided by total number of moles taken. We know that for strong electrolytes alpha value is always 1. For strong electrolytes alpha value is always 1. Strong acids, strong bases and highly soluble salts are the strong electrolytes. Strong acids, strong bases and highly soluble salts are strong electrolytes. Highly soluble salts means sodium chloride, potassium chloride, sodium nitrate, potassium nitrate, etc. For strong electrolytes, alpha value is always 1. But for weak electrolytes, alpha value less than 1, double less than 1. So in case of strong electrolytes, they undergo complete dissociation. Strong electrolytes undergo complete dissociation. So number of molecules dissociated divided by total number of molecules taken. If we take 10 power 10 NaCl molecules, when it is dissolved in water, 10 power 10 NaCl molecules will undergo dissociation. So number of molecules dissociated 10 power 10 divided by how many molecules were taken? 10 power 10. So alpha value will be 1. But for weak electrolytes, in case of weak electrolytes do not undergo complete dissociation. Weak electrolytes do not undergo complete dissociation. That's why alpha value is always less than 1, double less than 1. Weak acids, weak bases and sparingly soluble salts are weak electrolytes. Weak acids, weak bases and sparingly soluble salts. Sparingly soluble salts are lead salts like lead chloride, lead bromide and silver salts. Silver chloride, silver bromide, they are sparingly soluble salts. For weak electrolytes, alpha value is always less than 1. Weak acids, weak bases and sparingly soluble salts are weak electrolytes. So dissociation of weak acids. Dissociation of weak acids. If you take one weak acid, HX, it undergoes dissociation and gives H plus ions and X minus ions. If you take one weak acid HX, it undergoes dissociation and gives H plus ions and X minus ions. See, initially I am taking its concentration C. There is no H plus ions, there is no X minus ions initially. Initially, I am taking concentration of HX is C moles per liter. Initially, after some time, after time t, From that C moles, let X moles dissociated. C moles were taken. From that C moles, let X moles dissociated. C minus X. Number of moles of H plus ions formed X. X minus ions also X. Alpha is equal to formula number of molecules dissociated divided by total number of molecules taken. Alpha is equal to number of molecules dissociated divided by total number of molecules taken. Here we have taken C molecules or C moles. From that C moles, X moles dissociated. C moles were taken. Alpha is equal to number of molecules dissociated or number of moles dissociated divided by total number of moles taken. Then X is equal to C alpha. Put this X is equal to C alpha, C minus C alpha, C alpha, C alpha. Apply law of mass action for this reaction. K is equal to acid dissociation constant. K is equal to H plus ion concentration into X minus ion concentration divided by HX concentration. H plus ion concentration into X minus ion concentration divided by HX concentration. Then K is equal to, here H plus ion concentration is how much? C alpha into X minus ion concentration also C alpha divided by HX concentration. HX concentration C minus C alpha. Then K is equal to C square alpha square by, here C is common, 1 minus alpha. C will get cancelled. Then K is equal to C alpha square by 1 minus alpha. For weak electrolytes, this alpha value is very, very less. We can neglect. When compared to 1, we can neglect this alpha value. Suppose if alpha value is 0.1, 1 minus 0.1, 0.9. Instead of 0.9, we can take 1. So K is equal to C alpha square. 1 minus alpha is similar to 1. So this is important formula. K is equal to C alpha square. K is acid dissociation constant. C is concentration of the acid. Alpha is degree of dissociation. From this we can write alpha is equal to root of Ka by C. K is equal to C alpha square. Alpha is equal to root of Ka by C. Degree of dissociation is equal to root of acid dissociation constant divided by concentration of the acid. Similarly, for weak bases also we can write like this. See, from this formula I am writing like this. Strength of acid 1 divided by acid 2 is equal to strength of first acid by strength of second acid is equal to H plus ion concentration of first acid divided by H plus ion concentration of second acid is equal to alpha 1 by alpha 2, degree of dissociation of first acid divided by degree of dissociation of second acid is equal to root of Ka1 by Ka2. Root of acid dissociation constant of first acid divided by acid dissociation constant of second acid. So this is dissociation of weak acids. Like that, for weak bases also we can write degree of dissociation of weak bases. Degree of dissociation of weak bases. For weak base also same thing. See, instead of Ka, Kb is equal to C alpha square. For weak acids, K is equal to C alpha square. Na? Like that, for weak bases, Kb is equal to C alpha square. Base dissociation constant, Kb is equal to concentration of the base into this alpha is degree of dissociation. Then alpha is equal to root of Kb by C. For weak acids means Ka is equal to C alpha square, alpha is equal to root of Ka by C. For weak bases, Kb is equal to C alpha square, alpha is equal to root of Kb by C. Similarly, same formula we can write for weak bases also. strength of first base by strength of second base is equal to OH minus ion concentration of first base divided by OH minus ion concentration of second base is equal to alpha 1 by alpha 2 is equal to root of Kb1 by Kb2. Instead of Ka1 Ka2 we should take Kb1 by Kb2 for weak bases. So next, Ostwald's dilution law. Ostwald's dilution law. That Ostwald's dilution law is, as the dilution increases, degree of dissociation of weak electrolytes increases. As dilution increases, degree of dissociation of weak electrolytes increases. That is Ostwald's dilution law. So in case of strong electrolytes, alpha value is always 1. In case of strong electrolytes, alpha value is always 1. But in case of weak electrolytes, alpha value is always less than 1. As dilution increases, alpha value decreases. That is only Ostwald's dilution law. So if we take 0.1 molar acetic acid solution, for this, if alpha is equal to 0.1, as its dilution increases, if it is diluted 10 times, then concentration 0.1 becomes 0.01. This alpha value may be 0.5. Just let us assume 0.5. Again 10 more times diluted, then concentration becomes 0.001 molar. Alpha becomes 1. Infinite dilution means more amount of solvent is added. As the dilution increases means concentration decreases. As dilution increases, degree of dissociation increases. That is Ostwald's dilution law. Next, acid-base theories. Acid-base theories. See, first one, Arrhenius theory. So according to Arrhenius, acid means the substance which increases hydrogen ion concentration when dissolved in water is called acid. According to Arrhenius theory, acid means the substance which increases hydrogen ion concentration when dissolved in water. Example, HCl. When HCl dissolved in water, it gives H plus ions. It increases H plus ion concentration. So HCl is acid. Base means which increases OH minus ion concentration when dissolved in water. It gives Na plus ions and OH minus ions. When sodium hydroxide dissolved in water, it gives OH minus ions. That means OH minus ion concentration increases. So NaOH is base. Acid means the substance which increases H plus ion concentration when dissolved in water is called acid. Base means the substance which increases OH minus ion concentration when dissolved in water is called base. According to Arrhenius, neutralization means H plus ions of an acid combine with OH minus ions of base and form water. This is called neutralization. Arrhenius neutralization. H plus ions of an acid combine with OH minus ions of base to form water is called Arrhenius neutralization. But this Arrhenius theory explains nature of substances only in aqueous solutions. Arrhenius theory explains nature of substances only in aqueous solutions. Other than water, it cannot explain. That is one drawback. Next, one more. This theory cannot explain acidic nature of aluminum chloride, aluminum bromide, even boron halides BX3. It cannot explain acidic nature of these compounds and basic nature of sodium oxide, calcium oxide, ammonia, etc. These are the drawbacks. Next, after Arrhenius theory, Bronsted-Lowry theory. Bronsted-Lowry theory. According to Bronsted-Lowry theory, acid means proton donor. According to Bronsted-Lowry theory, acid means proton donor. Proton means H plus ion. Base means proton acceptor. Base means proton acceptor. According to Bronsted-Lowry theory, acid means proton donor, base means proton acceptor. Suppose if we take HCl, HCl plus H2 gives rise to H3O plus Cl minus. HCl plus H2O gives rise to H3O plus Cl minus. This HCl donates one H plus ion to this water. HCl donates one H plus ion to this water and convert it into Cl minus. HCl donates proton. H2 accepts proton and convert it into H3O plus. So proton donor, this is proton acceptor. Proton donor is acids. So this is acid. This is proton acceptor. So base. See here, there are two acids and two bases. In the forward direction, HCl is acid, H2 is base. In backward direction, H3O plus donates one H plus ion to the Cl minus ion. H3O plus donates one H plus ion to the Cl minus. So this is acid, Cl minus accepts proton. So it should be base. So there are two acids and two bases. In acid base neutralization reactions, there are two acids and two bases. See, between this HCl and Cl minus, difference is one proton. Between H3O plus and H2, difference is one proton. Between HCl and Cl minus, difference is one H plus ion. This pair is called conjugate acid base pair. Conjugate acid base pair. A pair of acid and base which differ by one proton is called conjugate acid base pair. A pair of acid and base which differ by single proton, which differ by one proton, is called conjugate acid base pair. Between these two also, difference is one proton. So this is also one pair, conjugate acid base pair. So from the acids, if proton is removed, then its conjugate base is formed. From the acid, if proton is removed, its conjugate base is formed. What is the conjugate base of nitric acid? NO3 minus. What is the conjugate base of HClO4? ClO4 minus. Perchloric acid, its conjugate base is perchlorate ion. If we take H2O, its conjugate base is OH minus. Conjugate base of H2 is OH minus. What is the conjugate base of OH minus? O minus 2. What is the conjugate base of H2SO4? HSO4 minus. Conjugate base of HSO4 minus is SO4 minus 2. SO4 minus 2. So all these are conjugate acid base pairs. Here conjugate base of strong acid is weak. Conjugate base of strong acid is weak. So we know that HCl is strong acid. HCl is strong acid. Then its conjugate base Cl minus is weak. This is weak base. This is strong acid. HCl is strong acid. HCl is strong acid. Then its conjugate base is weak base. Even HClO4 is strong acid. Then ClO4 minus is weak base. It has more tendency to donate the proton, but it has least tendency, very less tendency to accept the proton. Conjugate base of strong acid is weak. Similarly, conjugate base of weak acid is strong. If we take hydrogen cyanide, This hydrogen cyanide is weak acid. Its conjugate base is Cn minus. This is weak acid. Then Cn minus is strong base. Strong base. Hydrogen cyanide is weak acid. Its conjugate base, that is Cn minus. Cn minus is weak base. It has less tendency to donate the proton. It has more tendency to accept the proton. Similarly, if we take a strong base, its conjugate acid is weak. See, we know that conjugate base of strong acid is weak base. Conjugate base of strong acid is weak. Conjugate base of weak acid is strong. Like that, conjugate acid of strong base is weak. Conjugate acid of weak base is strong. See, RO minus. This RO minus is strong base because alcohol's acidic character is very less. Alcohol's acidic character is very less than alkoxide. Alkoxide is strong base. Alkoxide has more tendency to accept the proton. Alcohol's acidic character is very less. Alkoxide is strong base. Alkoxide has more tendency to accept the proton. Next, Lewis theory. According to Bronsted-Lowry theory, neutralization means transfer of proton from acid to base. Transfer of proton from acid to base is called neutralization. Bronsted-Lowry neutralization. Next, Lewis theory. According to Lewis theory, acid means electron pair acceptor. Electron pair acceptor. Base means electron pair donor. Electron pair acceptor is acid, electron pair donor is base. Transfer of electron pair from base to acid is called Lewis neutralization. Transfer of electron pair, see, if we take NH3, this can act as base. It can donate electron pair plus BF3, boron trifluoride. It can accept electron pair acceptor is acid. Between these two, coordinate covalent bond is formed. This is base, it donates electron pair, it accepts electron pair. So coordinate covalent bond is formed. This is called Lewis neutralization. Transfer of electron pair from base to acid is called Lewis neutralization. Next, types of Lewis acids. Types of Lewis acids. So cations, simple cations like Na plus, K plus, H plus, etc. Cations. Next, molecules which contain incomplete octets. Molecules in which central atom has incomplete octet. See, this is for crash course. I don't have time to write all these. Second one, molecules in which central atom has incomplete octet, like boron halides, BF3, BCl3, BBr3, Bi3. If we take BF3, in that BF3, central atom boron has only 6 electrons. Boron has 6 electrons, so it can accept electron pair. Even we can take aluminum halides, AlCl3, AlBr3, etc. But not AlF3. AlF3 is not electron deficient compounds. This is not electron deficient compound because in AlF3, Al plus 3 ion is present. Al plus 3 is present. It has neon configuration. There is no incomplete octet. If we take aluminum chlorides, this is aluminum chloride. Here aluminum has only 6 electrons. 3 covalent bonds are there. AlCl3 is covalent compounds. AlF3 is ionic compounds. Aluminum chloride is covalent compounds. That's why here 6 electrons are there. sextet configuration, incomplete octet. But AlF3 is ionic compounds, so it contains Al plus 3. It has neon configuration, there is no electron deficiency. Next, molecules in which central atom can expand their octets can also act as Lewis acids. If you take SiCl4, in SiCl4, silicon has 8 electrons, even though it can accept electrons. By expanding its octet configuration, it can accept electron pair. Molecules in which central atom can expand its octet can also act as Lewis acids. Next, electrophiles. Electrophiles like CH3 plus, C2H5 plus, etc. These are also electron pair acceptors, but all the electrophiles are not Lewis acids. All the electrophiles are not Lewis acids. If you take CH3, this is also electrophile. This is also electrophile because here carbon has 7 electrons. It can accept only 1 electron, not 1 electron pair. But here in CH3 plus, carbon has 6 electrons. It can accept electron pair. So all the electrophiles are not Lewis acids. Next, elements with sextet configuration. Elements with sextet configuration like oxygen and sulfur. Oxygen has 6 valence electrons, even sulfur has 6 valence electrons. Oxygen has 6 valence electrons. It can accept 1 electron pair. Next, in complex compounds, central atom. In complex compounds, central atom can act as electron pair acceptor. So, Lewis acids. Next, types of Lewis bases. First one, anions. Anions like OH minus, Cn minus, etc. Anions, negative charge is there. They can donate electron pair. Next, molecules which contain at least one lone pair at central atom. Molecules which contain at least one lone pair. We can write so many examples. In H2O on oxygen, 2 lone pairs are there. It can donate 1 electron pair. In ammonia or nitrogen, 1 lone pair is there. It can donate electron pair. In alcohols on oxygen, 2 lone pairs are there. So molecules in which central atom contains at least one lone pair of electrons can act as Lewis base. Next, nucleophiles. Nucleophiles, CH3 minus, C2H5 minus, these are nucleophiles. These are nucleophiles, can donate electron pair because here negative charge is there. Next, ligands. In complex compounds, ligands donate electron pair to the central atom. In complex compounds, ligands donate electron pair. So ligands also can act as Lewis bases. Next, limitations. Generally, acid-base neutralization reactions are very fast. Acid-base neutralization reactions are very fast, but a Lewis neutralization is very slow reaction. NH3 plus BF3 gives rise to NH3BF3 is formed. Addition compound is formed. Electron pair donor, this is electron pair acceptor. In general, acid-base neutralization reactions are very fast, but Lewis neutralization reactions are very slow reactions. Next, this theory cannot explain acidic nature of well-known acids. This Lewis theory cannot explain acidic nature of well-known acids. If you take HCl, H2SO4, etc. These are well-known acids, but these are not electron pair donors. According to Lewis theory, acid means electron pair donor, but these are not Acid means electron pair acceptor. Electron pair acceptor. But these are not electron pair acceptors. Lewis theory cannot explain acidic nature of well-known acids and basic nature of well-known bases. These are well-known common acids. These are common bases. These are not electron pair acceptors. These are not electron pair donors. These are limitations of Lewis theory.